In the early hours of April 23, 1951, tucked away in the rugged terrains of Korea, a significant event unfolded. This was the Battle of Yultong, a historic conflict that saw the Philippine Expeditionary Forces to Korea, or PEFTOK, display unrivaled courage and strategic brilliance. At this time in history, the world was embroiled in the Korean War, a brutal conflict between the North and South. The Battle of Yultong was a part of the larger Chinese Spring Offensive, an aggressive push by the Chinese forces aiming to recapture Seoul and push the United Nations forces back to the 38th parallel. As the Chinese initiated their Spring Offensive, they targeted the Turkish brigade first. The PEFTOK, positioned at Yultong, stood as the next line of defense. The tenacious Filipino soldiers were from the 10th Battalion Combat Team, known as the Motorized Battalion. The Chinese forces, numbering in the tens of thousands, descended on the Filipino soldiers late at night, under the cover of darkness. Outnumbered and facing an unexpected onslaught, the Filipinos found themselves in a precarious situation. But the soldiers of the 10th Battalion Combat Team held their ground. They fought with a resolve that belied their numbers, using their intimate knowledge of the rugged terrain to their advantage. Despite the overwhelming odds, they were able to halt the Chinese advance, buying crucial time for the United Nations forces to regroup. In a daring counteroffensive, the Filipino soldiers pushed back against the Chinese forces. This bold move, spearheaded by Captain Conrado Yap, resulted in a significant number of Chinese casualties and disrupted their formation. Unfortunately, Captain Yap was killed in action, but his fearless leadership and the relentless fighting spirit of the Filipino soldiers had already turned the tide of the battle. The Battle of Yultong ended with the PEFTOK successfully defending their position against the Chinese forces. The Battle of Yultong is a testament to the bravery and strategic acumen of the Filipino soldiers. Outnumbered and under intense pressure, they held their ground, defended their position, and launched a successful counter-offensive. Their actions not only halted the Chinese advance, but also allowed the United Nations forces to regroup. We've traversed the rugged terrains of the Battle of Yultong, delving into the strategic brilliance and indomitable courage displayed by the PEFTOK. We've witnessed the daring counter-offensive led by Captain Conrado Yap, and the successful defense against the Chinese Spring Offensive. From the initiation of the Chinese Spring Offensive to the heroic stand of the Filipino soldiers, the Battle of Yultong is a tale of courage under fire, strategic brilliance under pressure, and the unwavering resolve of the human spirit. This chapter of history serves as a reminder that even in the face of overwhelming odds, the will to fight can turn the tide of battle.